We hoped our investigation 2 years ago helped fix the justice system in the Piney Woods. Our kicking asphalt reports led to the resignation of the Angelina County District Attorney Janet Castles.
Janet Castles has resigned from her position effective Monday.
We helped drive out Commissioner Terry Pitts amidst allegations he cheated taxpayers on asphalt. But we're on the road to Lufkin again, because 5 years after we first started our work here, the injustice against the people of Angelina County continues.
We find that out, we find out everything.
They made the assumption that I am a stupid Mexican that does not know real estate law.
And now there are calls for Angelina County Judge Keith Wright and county commissioners to apologize to Arturo Mendoza after he was forced to take his fight over his own property all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. We think that apology should happen at their next meeting. When they made the Popeye movie,
Is that I'm asking you for an apology.
all the Sailor Man really wanted was an apology from these guys.
What we have here is a county government that violated the United States Constitution and the Texas Constitution by trying to take somebody's property, a citizen's property, without consent or without compensation, and just take it. And that violates everything that we know.
Well, I would like to offer my most sincere and heartfelt apology.
They treated me like a dog.
Arturo Mendoza never wanted to be the victim of a county road system that continues to be corrupt. Back in 2017, his family bought 69 acres here. It included a private road that cut through the middle of his land to a house owned by a powerful Angelina County family on landlocked property. Mendoza honored their right to use his road. But notice Commissioner Terry Pitts would occasionally send county equipment there to maintain it. And when he tried to put fences up to protect his property, Angelina County government tried to teach him a lesson. Terry Pitts and the county judge Keith Wright decided Arturo Mendoza's road wasn't his, that it belonged to Angelina County instead. A road that also led to property bought by a Baptist church, a church that Judge Keith Wright's family attended. They got the Angelina County Sheriff Troy Selman to send Mendoza this threatening letter after deputies arrived to tear his fence down. So Mendoza did what you would do, fight for his property, and he sued.
They need to go ahead and removed from office, from their positions.
But this is Angelina County, and the local district judge, Robert Inselman, ruled for the county, even without giving Mr. Mendoza a simple court hearing.
I think we owe him an apology.
A Texas appeals court ruled that Mendoza's property was illegally taken, and the Texas Supreme Court apparently agrees. An important victory in court that's being ignored by the local paper. The county has refused to say how much of your tax money they wasted on this fight against private property rights.
All that Mendoza ever wanted, even after they came to his place and tore up his fence and scared he and his wife, all they wanted was an apology and acknowledgement that it was their property, and he never got that. In fact, they continued on.
Because of a Texas law that makes it downright hard to sue government, Angelina County commissioners will not be forced to pay damages to Mr. Mendoza for what they did to him, even reimburse his $50,000 in legal fees. But commissioners, you should apologize right away, because what you did to this guy was simply wrong. And a reminder of the corrupt grip Angelina public officials continue to hold on the roads they were elected to simply fix.
Corruption, it's my buddy system, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, like that.
You think they're doing something because of the new owner of that property?
Correct.
I guess we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
No, we're not. Arturo Mendoza has now filed a lawsuit against you, claiming you can be held liable for damages because what you did to him, he says, was a crime, the misuse of county equipment. very similar to complaints made when you built a private dock, that the use of the sheriff was a way to, quote, weaponize the justice system to cover up a crime.
So I guess the county's going to be spending more money defending Pitts, and he was the really cause for primarily the whole thing. And then the county judge, of course, trying to cover it up and trying to help his friends.
The bad roads will haunt Judge Keith Wright as he tries to run for re-election. The spending on the roads have quadrupled since he became county judge. Of course, more miles of road have been repaired, but some of that money, it seems, may have been wasted because of the way the road work already looks. Look at the way the road comes up on Memory Lane, shall we? After just a couple of years.
I'm going to test this out and see how it measures up against the plastic spoon here.
And it should help Angelina County taxpayers. Remember the biggest fail for Judge Wright.
You about to get me aggravated.
Hiring this guy, James McMullen. We warned folks at the time it was a mistake, and we watched him mishandle a bid for a simple tractor.
You refuse to talk to me. You refuse to take my phone calls. You ain't even went out there and looked at your shoddy work, because I can tell you now, if you was on my job site, I wouldn't have run you off.
McMullen was finally fired a few months ago. And while commissioners look again for an actual engineer to run the roads, Judge Wright wanted to promote this guy to take over the job, at least for now.
Coming out of executive session, we're going to go to item 26, action on appointing an interim road administrator for the Angelina County road system.
You all remember Clinton Caton. He's the guy who was demoted just a couple of years ago after he fixed roads without commissioners' approval, including the two roads in front and back of now former Commissioner Steve Smith's house. The only new streets in Smith's entire neighborhood that got paved. How do you think that looked?
What's y'all's pleasure?
It was apparently not the pleasure to promote Caton, but by default, he's now in charge anyway, as Wright and the commissioners try once again to find an engineer to do the job. But Wright begins his re-election campaign, trying to explain to voters why 5 full years after they voted to stop the political corruption involving the roads, it's all been so mismanaged. Why Wright never asked for a formal audit even after the first engineer the county hired to do the roads blew the whistle, documenting financial discrepancies, asphalt favors for friends. Why our kicking asphalt investigation began. Remember Chuck Walker? He was fired after his road measurements sure seemed to prove that something stunk really bad in a $6 million road improvement project with money that commissioners had borrowed with interest. Guess where the biggest discrepancies were? In the precinct of now former Commissioner Pitts. And it was a complaint from Pitts that led to Walker getting charged with a crime for misusing property. Not Pitts. A full 3 years later, those charges are still pending. But the county has already voted to pay $150,000 to Walker to settle his whistleblower lawsuit. Stay tuned, because coming soon, the latest developments from those politically tainted prosecutions in Angelina County.
It's going to be painful. It's going to be difficult.
Not exactly a Chamber of Commerce moment when Wright detailed the road problems that continue to harm economic development in Angelina County.
When you go down a road that you can't hardly drive down because there's so many potholes and so many base failures, you don't want to build a house there.
4 years after being elected county judge, Wright will enter a Republican primary for re-election with a politically dangerous message. The judge took to social media this week to complain that disagreement has become hate, discussion has become argument, politics has become character assassination.
And there's 45 cents rowboat under the wharf tax and $1 leaving your junk lying around the wharf tax.
In Popeye, the folks lived in an overtaxed place called Sweet Haven, ruled by a mean guy named Bluto. Hey, Judge, I don't think you're Bluto, but you do know the slang word for money, don't you? It's spinach.
Oh, never more, I say. Nevermore.
And some of Angelina County's precious road tax money will likely have to be spent now to fix up the roads that were so badly repaired the last few years. While Angelina County taxpayers are reminded of the other road injustices that continue to haunt this Texas county, like the illegal one the Wright administration pulled off on a guy who simply was protecting his own land. That's not character assassination, Judge. That's called the Texas Supreme Court.
And that was just a plan that they had to use the entire justice system to cover up what they'd been doing wrong.